Hey everyone, and welcome to Success Talk with Aurea McGarry. I'm your host, Aurea McGarry, and I am so excited to bring you this show, especially in these more dire times. And my goal is to help entrepreneurs and small business owners get highly effective tips and tools that they need right now to help their businesses and their ideas grow and flourish, because we're in some different situations now than ever before, and we need to pull together. We need to be creative, share our resources. Many of us, probably all of us, need to pivot in one way or another to either continue doing what we're doing, or some may need to change completely what they're doing and tap into a whole new area of expertise that they need to bring out, because that's what the market is going to be calling for. So I'm going to bring you experts in many different industries that I feel have a tip or a tool that you need to know right now. If you do like what you hear, please like and subscribe to my channel here on YouTube or wherever you're watching this on, because I am here to make sure you get lots and lots of information going forward, and you're not going to want to miss any of it. So today my guest is Liz Goddard. She actually is in my life and helps me in my business, and she is the founder of My CC Admin. Liz, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Aurea. I'm truly honored to be here. I know you support a lot of amazing men and women, and so I'm excited to hopefully give some tips from our business to theirs.
I know you will, and you got the red memo, so.
I know. What is that?
It shows that red looks good on both blonde and brunettes.
I know. I'm like the dark version. You're the light version. I love it.
And that's a tip I like to give to people too in these down times. Get up, get dressed, like you're going out, feel good about the day. Don't just spend all these next couple of weeks. It's easy to do, just kind of stay in your jammies, but you find you will be more productive if you get up and get dressed and show up to be different and creative, and whether you're homeschooling or whether you're trying to be online communicating with your company. So here we go. Liz, give us some tips on how we can be successful during these crazy times.
So I really thought a lot about this. And what's interesting is I've been speaking to a lot of businesses lately. I own a virtual team building business. So virtual assistants, virtual marketing, virtual accounting. And so people are leaning on us to say, hey, all of a sudden we had to switch with no warning from in-office staff to managing remotely. And at first glance, you think it's going to be pretty similar, but it's really not. And so today I thought I would give some tips on how to manage a remote team. I have a lot of tips, but I really wanted to focus on two things that I think are incredibly important to keeping your team engaged and productive.
That's great. And I have my VA through you, so I'm a very happy client. So
good. So whether you're used to having somebody virtual or not, I think this applies to both. So if you are used to having a virtual staff, you may think, oh, well, I never really put those in those words, but this is really geared towards people who have had in-office staff and now they're working remotely.
Okay.
And I would tell you the two biggest tips would be, one is communication, which communication is important across whether you're in person or you're remote, but it's specifically important when you're not in person, because it is so easy for your team member to feel isolated. They feel like they're on this island. And to your point, they may be in their pajamas every day because they think, oh, I get to wear my pajamas. But really it's such a mental thing to feel like I'm alone. I'm not part of this machine. I don't have a goal. And so you really want to, especially when times are high stress, to have regular recurring meetings. And I don't just mean picking up the phone, because picking up the phone, it's awesome, but there's nothing like seeing somebody eye to eye. You and I, we feel like we're in the same room together right now.
Exactly. So you like Zoom, because we're using the Zoom platform. Do you recommend this?
Our number one platform is Zoom, but there's some really great resources. There's GoToMeeting, there is meetme.com, and they are all free. For basic levels, you can use them all for free, and they have great functionality.
Okay.
But what I would say is use a tool like Zoom so you can see them face to face. We do daily check-ins when it's like a high stress situation where I want somebody to feel really engaged. I do daily check-ins, and I might say, hey, Rhea, let's just talk about what's going on in your world. Personally, professionally, it would take time to laugh, because when you get somebody comfortable in their home, you don't feel like they're worried about the economy. You just need to keep them focused on what the mission of the business is. Mm-hmm. We as leaders, our job is to protect our employees and our staff from external factors so they can focus on what you're trying to lead them to. And so you just want to make sure you're staying in constant communication, looking them eye to eye, and making sure they're on the same page as you are.
And if somebody now is, we hear so many, we can't even like count the numbers of businesses they're going to close down. And let's say there is some businesses and they have to let go of all of their team, their actual staff and team. Does that translate into now maybe they can use maybe one virtual assistant to keep them up and running during this time until they can get back into the world, whether it's the same or looking a little different later on? Is that something doable? Or do you think that they should stay in contact with one person they keep on their staff and turn them into a virtual assistant manager to keep things running? Does it matter?
That's a hard question. One is I own a business where we can supply that to people. But I think if you can keep the people you have on and train them and treat them remotely, then that's probably the less impact to our economy and to our businesses because they're already trained. But if you found yourself in a situation where you really do need to lay people off because you don't want that fixed expense of 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week, you can absolutely look at a company like ours where you can bring somebody in what we call a fractional role where you pay as you go. But whether you're using a service like ours or you want to bring your team and just let them work from home, you can do that with, like I said, just a lot of free tools that are out there. And if you just tweak a few things, the disruption to your business won't be that big.
As big. Yeah. And you had mentioned earlier that you had some real good resources and tools that you like to use for businesses at home, because many businesses now are going to be forced to work out of the home if they hadn't already in some capability. So now you give us some great tools that we need to know working our business, whatever it is, out of the home.
Number one tool I just mentioned is Zoom. The reason I love it is one, yes, the phone call. I mean, we're looking at each other, we're teleconferencing right now. But the way we use it for our internal team is I'll be having a call. Let's say, Ray, you and I are working on a project, and maybe I'm not good at explaining things, what it looks like. I can say, you know what, hang on, Araya, let me share my screen.
Right.
And immediately you can be seeing my screen. I can even say, okay, Araya, why don't you take over through Zoom? Then I can give you control and you can take over. It's also good for just chatting. There's other tools like Slack's really good for chatting, internal communications, especially within teams. So I would say,
you said Slats. Is Slats part of Zoom?
Slack is a different type of, it's more of like a chat system. A chat system set up for your company, and you can speak within channels. Like if you have, let's say you're an architecture group and you want one channel specific to one building that you're building.
Okay.
Set up a channel within Slack.
Okay, cool. That's is it Slack? You're saying SLACK?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Hey, got it. Okay, let's make sure. You also had some other tools. I think most people know about Zoom and GoToMeeting and some of those. You had some others that you had listed. What are those?
So those tools are actually on my second point. So communication being incredibly important. So that daily communication, making sure they understand that they're part of a bigger picture.
Right.
The second thing is just making sure that their deliverables are very clear. So you are giving clear direction on what's expected of them.
Okay.
Now that they're communicating and they don't feel like they're part of an island, now they need to say, well, what do you want from me? How do I stay on task? And those are going to be project management tools. So Asana is a really popular one. Monday.com is another one. Basecamp. These are all three great project management tools. And depending on the industry you're in is going to dictate which one is best for you. Asana, we typically see in a creative atmosphere.
Okay.
Right. So content management, social media management. Basecamp, you see more in engineering, development industries. And then I think Monday.com is a really good middle of the road just for most small businesses, just managing your team, letting them know, hey, these are our big projects. And then Araya, your goal is this, and I expect it to be done by here. So clear direction on what you need from your team is the second piece of advice I would give. And I think a project management tool is a fantastic way to communicate that and allow people to see the progress of where we're all going.
So these apps actually make it easy for you to give out individual tasks. They get it back to you. What makes it different than just going back and forth in an email?
Great question. One is, let's say one of your team members is just away and they weren't CC'd on that email. It gives you complete records of everything they've done. It gives you progress so that you can get a dashboard and say, that project is 36% done. And if you're just seeing email communication, it's
Oh,
pretty subjective of like, where are we from start to finish of this goal? I mean, everything is consolidated into one platform. So the team is quickly updated on where are we going and where are we at.
that's great. Oh, those are neat. I love all those tools. Well, I will put those down in the comments. So we'll get all those to everybody so they can just see what their options are if they've never heard of them. Another tool that I use all the time that I love, I actually use it with my VA, and is Marco Polo. It's on my phone. It's really easy. It's a free app, and you can actually just video record, do this. And a lot of times I might show my screen, like it's kind of like old school, but this is what I like, this is what I don't, instead of trying to share screen and logging into Zoom and getting that code. It's just could be really easy. Show my screen. I like this, not liking that, and boom. Then they just video record back. So it's just kind of like a walkie-talkie, but with video. So I like that one.
I love that. Actually, I had not thought about using that with our assistants, but I'll tell you, recently I went on vacation and I have a business partner, my co-founder. She and I always struggle with, are we like leaving text messages, emails, are we updating in our CRM? And we started using Marco Polo just to quickly update if we had a big call. We wanted to keep in the loop, no action necessary. And I fell in love with it. It was such a good way, because then I could digest it when I had time, like if I was off the slopes and I just wanted to quickly go through what's going on in the company. So that's great advice. I love that.
It's so much easier because I'm always doing a million things at once, and to take time to write out the email, I will, talk it to my phone for emails. We can all use that, but then you have to go back and correct all the auto corrects. And sometimes it's so much faster to show them what you need. Like a lot of times I'll be working in Infusionsoft and I need to show my VA, I don't like that, but you see how this works a little bit different than that. And it's so much faster than trying to explain. If you look at this, this first draft and the second draft, and I like this coloring, but show it. It's just so easy, and it's easier, like I said, than trying to log into Zoom, create that, and then do a share screen, which you can do too. But sometimes I'm on the fly. Marco Polo works really great.
I love that. We're doing that with our teams. That's
awesome. Fun. I use it with Misty all the time. Okay, last but not least, this is all great news for people that do have teams or need a team or whatever. But we're in dire times, and we're looking at people not even having jobs anymore and need to totally recreate themselves and totally think outside the box. Do you have any tips or resources for somebody that's saying, this is all great, I can't afford a team right now, I just need a resource or a tool or some kind of business aha moment or idea? And if you could give us anything, that would be great. We never know who it's for, but any idea or thought or positive would be great.
Actually I wrote a blog for our company yesterday and sent that out about just, hey, how can we kind of recession proof our business, especially if it's service? Because it's not just that we're in a quote potential recession, it's that we're like quarantined. We're in our homes. And so how do we generate revenue from our homes when so much of service-based businesses are interacting with clients? So some advice I said was, look at your revenue streams. If you can shift, if you're used to organizing people's closets or organizing and helping them move, can you open a revenue stream that is consultant facing? So now can you teach them how to do that? So that was one of the ideas that I had. If you have more, you can go check out from our website, not to give a plug.
But do give a plug, because people are going to want these resources. And my other guest, she was saying, we need to go virtual. We need to go online, virtual tours of homes if you're a realtor, making house calls if you're a hairdresser. Once we're allowed to at least connect a little bit, maybe you can't open up the shop, but you can do delivery. So there's going to be a lot of outside of the box thinking now. And it's not going to be business as usual when we all come back together too. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be done differently, and we need to adjust our sales in order to continue to be successful, even if it looks different. So different ways to get to our customers and different ways to be, affordable to our customers now as well. Right. So yes, tell us again in closing, because you've said some great tips. We'll let them all digest that. If they want to log into your blog and just get free ideas or tap into you, should the time be now or later, tell us what that is, and I'll make sure I put it in the comments.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Well, so the reason we created this business was to help a small business scale both quickly and affordably. And so what we do is we are going to provide, I would just imagine creating departments. Like you have a marketing department through us, you have an accounting department, you have a lead generation, and you have just your right hand, an executive assistant, but you can't afford to bring 5 roles on. Yeah. And so using a company like ours, where you can use just as you need, you really make it all a cart, and you only pay for what you need. You ultimately can have a fully staffed back office and only are only be using 10 hours combined between all of the people. Maybe it's 40 as you as your business start, as you know, we were
Right.
hoping there's a floodgate that opens and business comes back quickly. So
Right.
it's adjustable based on what business is coming in and coming out.
That's great. So how do they get a hold of you?
You can go to our website. It's ccmyadmin.com, www.ccmyadmin.com. You can click on, reach out to us. You can look at our vlog. You can
Your
look
blog
at,
is there.
yes, blog and our vlog, just tips and tricks to how small businesses can scale quickly. And we'd love to hear what you guys are going through. And if you need any help, we'd love to help you.
That sounds great. Liz, thank you so much. You've been a great help to me in my business. I'm just, here, at my home. I've been doing entrepreneurship for many, many years, and having a VA really helps me. And I knew you had some tools that the people that are viewing needed to know about. So I'll list those as well. And if anything that we've said or any tool helps them, most of those apps are free. Some might be a little cost depending, but we're really praying that everybody recovers quickly. We're in this together. If you have ideas and you're watching this, put them in the comments. If you want to share your resources, your free apps, anything, because now is the time to reach out and just share of what we have and what we know, so all of the country can bounce back quicker and faster than ever before. And the other day when I was thinking, what can I do to serve? Because I'm considered maybe the high risk category, because from my cancer, they removed half of both my lungs and my vocal cord nerve, along with some other things. But what lungs I do have left are healthy. So I don't have emphysema, and I don't have, I don't smoke. So they're not compromised. I just have less than most people. So I don't have any to spare. So being kind of more quarantined and my family trying to be a little more protective of me, it's like, well, I can get online. I can start up my show again and give people tools and introduce them to people that can help them, besides me also helping them doing their own virtual events. They're virtual, taking their intellectual property and turning into a virtual stream of income. So we're all in this together. Happy to be here online. Liz, thank you so much for sharing. So appreciate you. myccadmin.com. God bless you for everything you do. And we're all going to get through this together. I know it.
Yes. And you know what? Something you said I loved was that we're all in this together, and we're so much more fortunate now than we were in 2008 that we have technology that we can brainstorm through these mediums, which we just didn't have access to then. So we're that much more ahead of the times. And,
Really
and so
are.
I'm excited to see how we will come together and get out of this.
Imagine if this happened in the 80s or the 90s. I mean, we didn't even have computers or cell phones. Totally different story. So what I've always say, stay up in this curve, use this time at home, enjoy your family. I know a lot of us are homeschooling our kids, but use some quality time to reinvent your business, reinvent how you deliver to your customers. Don't make all this, don't panic. And if you stay busy and stay active and stay thinking positive and what can I do to make a difference and to grow, then when we do come out the other end, you'll be that much further ahead of the game and ahead of the curve, because you didn't just sit back and let it happen to you. You became part of a solution and use what you have as part of the solution as well. We're here for you. Tap into us. I'm at Aurea McGarry and Aurea McGarry Productions. Anything you need, coaching and life coaching. And Liz, thank you, because they are going to grow their business and need your admin services as well. Think positive, all. Keep the faith, keep the hope. We're here for you. God bless. Have a great day. You're not alone. Thank you, Liz.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. Don't log off.